Hello, welcome back. How you doing? Um, Bit of waffle at the start of the video. Just to say that I'm not going to waffle at the start of the video. It seems to me that my videos are slightly more popular and like slightly watched for longer periods of time when I shut up. So yeah, straight on into the recipe. Well, a bad hair day today. Ugh. Right, yes, a very simple dal, a very simple lentil curry that anybody could do. Takes about 35 minutes. I think we call them red lentils, but I think the official name, if you're talking from an India perspective, this is a Masoor dal, a red lentil dal. So it doesn't take very long, feeds about four people. There is I won't say deliberate mistake, but a mistake in the video, which you'll see near to the end. And I did promise to leave all my mistakes in, and here's one. Anyway, enjoy this one. Do it with rice or roti. I chose roti. It's a beautiful dish, and like I say, it doesn't take very long. Not very complicated. Easy to do. That tastes traditional, but anybody could do if they've not cooked curries before. So waffle on. Let's make it. Righty ho, here we are again. Board of goodness, covered in goodness. Right, let's start. About 300 grams of red lentils, because we're going to be doing a red lentil dal today, rather than some of the other dals which are more popular. What do we got? Two onions, about four cloves of garlic, about a half of that. So again, probably a thumb-sized bit of ginger, all chopped up nicely. The spices. We got a teaspoonful of cumin. We've got a teaspoonful of chili powder, teaspoon of turmeric, teaspoon of coriander powder, and a teaspoon of garam masala. We've got about a half a litre to three quarters of a litre of veg stock. Use as much as you need. Some coriander at the end for garnish. Probably about a third of that packet all chopped up nicely. A tin of tomatoes, preferably chopped, but I'm going to chop these up. These are full, whole, peeled plum tomatoes, so I'm going to chop those up before I put them in. Salt if you need it. Probably won't because we're using the veg stock. Yeah, that's it. I think let's get on with it. Oh, potatoes. The potatoes aren't part of this recipe, but I'm going to add them because I found a few potatoes in the bottom of the fridge. So I'm going to pop those in when I fry the onions to get the flavour in there. So as many potatoes as you want, but it's not a core part of this recipe if you just want to make a red lentil dal. Anyway, on with it. So we head on with the onions. I've chopped these up quite finely in my little mini blender because this isn't going to be a 50-minute onion recipe. So normally when I do curries, I like to go dark brown, but this is a fairly short curry. So we're going to go about 10 minutes with these finely blended onions. So 10 minutes. So that's about 10 minutes. You can see it's starting to brown. It's only gone from the off-white to this like very light brown, almost a beige, old person's beige. Right, the the garlic. I'm trying to think of the words here. Words are disappearing out of my head. Anyway, be better if I turn the phone off as well, wouldn't it? Anyway, yeah, onions and garlic, onions and garlic, onions and garlic and ginger, onions and garlic. It's one of those days. Words in my head, not coming out of my mouth. La 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 la. 3, 4 minutes. Ooh, there it is. I think I've said before, and I apologise for boring you. The smell of cooking garlic and ginger and onions is a thing. Luckily, a lot of curries have that mix at the start of them, and it's just a wonderful smell. And whoa, just whoa, yes. Anyway, I'm going to add a tiny bit of the stock, and I'm going to add all of the spices. Turn the heat down a little bit and give it large for about a minute. Maybe a tiny splash more of the stock. You don't want it to burn. but equally you don't want this to be too wet as you're giving the spices their minute in the spotlight. Oh, oh, wow. Yeah, spices when they add to the onions and the garlic and the ginger. Oh, wow. Wow, 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 wow. So I'm going to add the rest of the stock. That's half a litre of stock. We may need a little more. And I said I was going to chop up the tomatoes, so I'll put those in my blender as well. And I'll just add a little bit more water in there. Just make everything stir around well. I'm going to add my potatoes in there. I was going to add the potatoes in with the onions while I was frying the onions, but I changed my mind. I'm going to put them in now, I think. Putting them in with the onions, maybe a little bit too early because I've chopped the potatoes up fairly small to a sort of about just over 1 centimetre cubed or rectangled. Right, I think that will cook quite enough this way. Right, and then thoroughly washed lentils are going in, and this is going to take about 15 to 20 minutes, and then it should be finished. Not a long recipe at all. Keep checking it and keep stirring it, and maybe add a little bit more water. But yeah, 15 to 20 minutes and this should be done. Potatoes done, lentils done, everything done. Now, curries get everywhere when you're cooking, so I would get one of these. It's like a spoon holder, and every time I finish stewing I put it in here instead of on my work surface, so my work surface doesn't get covered in curry. Certainly the curry spices and the curry colours. Everything gets covered in this sort of browny, reddy, yellowy thing, the spices. So anyway, turn the heat right down. This is going to be 15-20 minutes. I think I will cover it to start with. Keep checking on the liquid content though, you may need a little bit more liquid. Right, off we go. Right, after 20 minutes, we are there at the finish line. I will, however, let you in onto a secret of cheating. The potatoes didn't cook quite so well in with the dal as I thought they would. So I had to painstakingly fish them all out, put them into a separate pan, give them a bit of water and some woo heat to bring them into line with how quickly the dal was cooking. Stupid boy. Basically what I said a few minutes ago about frying them in with the onions so that they're part cooked anyway was the right idea. That's what I usually do, and I thought I could get away with it this time by putting them in with the dal. I was wrong! Anyway, yes, I'm going to serve that up with some roti, or chapatis if you want to call them that, which I'm going to cook on my tawa. If you eat a lot of chapatis, a lot of Indian food, get one of these. Really good for cooking your chapatis on. And then I'm going to put some of this fresh coriander all over the top. And that is going to be a beautiful meal. Right, thank you very much for watching. This is gorgeous, simple, and takes about 35 minutes or so. So, bye-bye.